In English they use Karen, Stacey or Chad to refer to a specific kind of people. Which names do you use in your language to do the same, and what kind of people do they represent?
A Brian in Denmark is typically a dude who likes motors a lot. In Quebec, Stefan is for someone who sports a mullet. In Afrikaans, Frikkie always drives a bakkie, pickup truck, wears short khaki shorts and a two-tone shirt.
Durrell in Romanian usually refers to a stupid-ass worker who can't do the job right.
In German it's Hans, Kevin, and Jacqueline. In European Spanish, Bertamari, posh right-winger dude who likes to watch bullfighting and wears a polo shirt. Mari, typical lady in her 50s-60s who spends the day doing household and gossiping with the neighbors. In Scotland if someone is a loner you call them Billy No Mates.
What is something you spend a ton of money on that the vast majority of people never would?
Fencing and fencing accessories. Not the barbed wire type, but the stabbing people with long pointy metal sticks kind.
I like to collect fossils and pretty minerals that I spend way too much on, but it's my hobby and I love it.
Effects pedals. I took some to a friend's house a few weeks ago for a stoner noise jam and he said, "What is that?" About $2,000 in pedals. I was about to push back as it seemed absurd. Then I realized he was right.
Chicken feet. Those little buggers are just stomachs covered in feathers. I was going through 200 pounds a month for a while, even though they free range and eat everything they can find.
Cops of Reddit, what famous people have you pulled over and how did it go down?
D'Angelo Russell. He was respectful and didn't mention who he was. I didn't know it was him till I recognized his name and looked him up. I let him go with a warning on some chicken shit window tint traffic stop.
I gave Werner Herzog a speeding ticket in the Hollywood Hills in the early 2010s. He was very polite and even shook my hand. Nice fellow.
Some police officer pulled over Kit Harington once for speeding or something. He said he'd let him go if he told him if he's really dead in Game of Thrones. He told him. He let him go. True story, at least according to Kit.
You don't fully appreciate being able to breathe clearly out your nose until you have a stuffy nose. What are some other small things that we don't truly appreciate until they're gone?
You don't realize just how much you use your little finger or little toe until you break it.
A life without severe back pain. Drinking hot/cold beverages without your teeth hurting.
You never appreciate all the pens you've ever used in your life until suddenly the only pen you have just will not write properly. Or it writes and then randomly acts like it's out of ink. Rude.
That you do not continuously hear a beep. Protect your ears.
Having a bathroom available when you need one.
Parents of Reddit, if you turned into a Pikachu, how would your kid react?
He'd be fucking psyched. He'd never be able to change me back.
Mom 5EE. Carrot, can I play with your phone?
My daughter is ground type and ruthless, so I probably faint.
If my parents turned into Pikachu, I would finally find my father because within minutes every news outlet would be running Pikachu discovered. Headlines. Thrilled. She loves Pokemon, Pikachu especially. We saw Detective Pikachu together at the theater and she sleeps with a toy Pikachu. I'd never be able to be turned back. Is my phone glitched? Does this post have 6 medals? Edit, I swear to God if one more person comments with an updated medal number I'll call your moms and say rude things.
Get into the damn ball, Pikachu.
If retirement in the future means you donate your body and organs at age 40 but will be kept alive artificially in a perfectly simulated environment where you live worry-free, would you do it? Why or why not?
Now I just want to know what happens to all the bodies and organs. And you would actually trust they could keep the system running for another 60 years or so? With my luck, they would load me into the Matrix and the system would throw an error and have to be rebooted.
I'm quite attached to my organs. Plus worrying is my main hobby.
Is this the new Matrix? Haha, no. I used to work in IT. I'd look at that simulation, imagine that people like me are in charge of making the system go, and no the hell out of there. So bring up the kids that you have when you're 30. Hey little Timmy, I know you're looking forward to your 10th birthday, but guess what? Daddy's going to the farm to live in a jar. Sorry, no more playing catch.
If you could choose the sound you make when you fart, what sound would you choose?
Default phone notification, just pretend your phone went off, or pull awesome pranks.
Windows 98. Slide whistle or a text-to-voice machine saying the word fart. Wilhelm scream.
An old car horn from back in the day.
La cucaracha horn.
If you were able to bring back one thing from the past, what would it be?
The happiness and ignorance I had before my first day of kindergarten. Steve Irwin. The asteroid that killed the dinosaurs.
Library of Alexandria. Could have some interesting works in there.
Relative anonymity. Today's culture celebrates and expects folks to share every moment of their lives. My stable mental health.
What's a TV show you loved but gave up?
Once upon a time. Start cramming in every Disney character you can think of, recast a spell to reset things because it got out of hand, and make sure every villain gets an eventual sympathetic portrayal. Under the Dome. Really interesting concept. Semi-cool pilot. Terrible acting. It went from a suspense show to a, I have to watch this and pretend it's a comedy show, just to get through it.
The Walking Dead, first season was amazing and second season was good. After that it became a completely different show and I gave it up. Heroes season 1 was great. Unfortunately it went right over a cliff in season 2.
House of Cards.
What is the absolute worst safe word a couple can use?
Harder.
Continue.
Rupert grinned. Rindfleischeketierung Suberwachung Sofgaben Übertragungsgesetz. Yes, this is an actual word.
Slonvire Pushguinyo Gogarik Werndra Bull Slonasilia Gogagok. Here's a weathered bloke pronouncing the shit out of that word.